Hey, Samich Warrior here.
What up, dudes? It's post-production Greg here. Thought I'd really quickly apologize for the shitty mic quality. I'm working on getting some better mics, getting some better audio quality, but, you know, this is the first time I'm using this mic, and I didn't realize how fucking ass it was going to be. It initially sounded something like this. Yeah, so let's get back to it.
What is a movie? That is a question we are not going to answer today, but we might just find the meaning of. And you know, actually, I've been thinking that Samich Warrior isn't a really an amazing name for this channel. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have the thesis of this channel written into its name. Apologies for the jump cuts. This is actually really hard. I was thinking of henceforth being known as the irate film producer with Your Movies Lack Certain Desirable Qualities.net Productions. I really think that really exemplifies where I want this channel to go. So today we're going to be reviewing Blockers, and who else than a noted YouTuber and accomplished personality than me? I mean, I always put out the most consistent and quality content. Yeah! So I think I really have a basis by which to challenge this movie and critique it. Anyway, so I started this quest. I wasn't initially planning on reviewing Blockers. I was planning on reviewing this movie called Another Wolf Cop. Little did I know it was disgusting as shit. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. This is 10 minutes into the movie. Alright, I can put up with a lot, but Wolf Cop's wolf cock is where I draw the line. Jesus fucking Christ, that was the stupidest thing I've ever said. This little gem comes courtesy of somebody called Kay Cannon. Let's see what she's done in the past. She's known for producing 30 Rock. I've heard that show is actually pretty good. She's responsible for producing Pitch Perfect, all the Pitch Perfect movies. Oh, wow. Okay. It's not a good sign. And she has one directing credit, and that's Blockers. Okay, then. Let's check out the writers. Writers of this movie are two brothers responsible for Blockers and some TV shorts and Miss Congeniality 2. Okay. Anyways, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I figured before I got into bitching about the rest of this movie, I might as well give you guys a little bit of a plot rundown. So Blockers, if the amazing innuendo didn't clue you in, is about a group of parents who are trying to stop their kids from copulating on prom night. Ooh, now I get it. I get the joke. There's a chicken. That means penis. And then blockers. Penis blockers. Or fuck. So we're introduced to these three girls through a video that looks way too good for 2006. I mean, it should look something like this, you know? Come on. What are they shooting with, huh? So we find out that the three of these people become the best of friends. And we flash forward to modern day and find out that,
because it's prom night. And it's supposed to be like the most magical night of your life, and you know, I'm just so anxious.
Okay, guess I didn't have to explain any of that at all. Thanks, movie. Appreciate it. Alright, next family. Hey, wait a second, I know that guy. He's John Cena. And he's on the cover of a movie called Cockblock. Uh-oh. I know where this is. I don't know. I have a feeling this isn't going somewhere. This... Stop. Stop.
Rachel.
Stop. Stop!
Those are your daughters.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought would happen. So we find out that John Cena is super protective of his daughter. And that is just not cool. Because, like, I'm edgy. I'm a teen and I rebel. Look at my shirt. I'm edgy. His daughter eloquently explains this edginess, this rebelliousness through...
Dad, you can't teach someone not to try things, okay? That's what trying things is for, to teach you things. It's a contradiction. It's like telling me not to go for a triple on a base hit to the gap when I've made a good turnaround first and I know that the right fielder has a weak arm.
Yep. How does baseball have anything to do with you smoking a cigarette?
I'm having sex.
That's great.
I'm having soup.
Oh, fuck off. Anyways, these three friends decide that they're all going to make a pact to lose their virginity on prom night, and thus the movie's plot happens. So, we find ourselves at sort of a pre-prom party. I didn't know people really did those. Okay. Maybe I was just a nerd. I'm going to take this scene kind of slow because there are a lot of things I need to mention. A lot of little nitpicks, you know? So first of all, I just need to mention for a brief second that the parents fucking suck in this movie. We've got a super clingy helicopter parent, a super clingy helicopter parent, and the cool dad. And he's, as you can probably guess, the most annoying character in the movie. Shut up, please. Anyways, I'll get into more why the parents suck later on, but let's get back to this.
Heard if you spend a significant amount of time with your children that you develop some kind of like telekinetic bond with them.
Is that true?
I've heard. Mm-hmm.
I hope it's not true, because if it is, Sam has been looking at a lot of Asian porn.
My wife's Asian.
Indy.
Why would Cena say that? He's not jerking off to your wife. Hey, look, Hannibal's in the movie. Are they going to give him anything funny to say?
We're all adults here. Let's not make it uncomfortable. If you're going to be around more, let's have a beer sometimes.
Okay, first of all...
No? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, intense professional grip. Cheers. Take it easy, big guy.
Okay. Now I know this movie is fiction, because who the fuck would say that to their date's parent? Especially when their parent is John motherfucking Cena.
There we go.
And then you want to get a quick one of me and Chad real quick?
A literal fedora-wearing person named Chad. What does this mean? Anyway, so their parents go and find out that their daughters are planning to lose their virginities on prom night, and thus decide to go on a wacky adventure filled with hijinks. Go and stop them from doing that. But not before there's a hilarious bit where the parents try to decode what the daughters are saying through emojis. Because, like, aren't emojis wacky when you think about it? Like, we say things with emojis that, like, mean other things? Like this?
Plants are dicks in teenage emoji language.
What?
You know
Yeah.
what? That's true. Julie
That's
told
what
me
it-
that the
yeah,
emojis
that's
have-
what that
they all have
means.
secret meanings.
And,
so, like, trees are weed,
this means-
and snowflakes are cocaine.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, and this one
that
is
thing
like...
is Yas Queen.
Yas Queen!
What the hell's that?
Never heard of Yas.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. She's gonna have sex with that Austin kid, and then she's gonna think that she has all these feelings, which she does not actually have. Then she's gonna drive across country and follow him and ruin her fucking life.
Oh yeah, these parents fucking suck. So the parents go on a little adventure and we cut to their prom and awesome. Yeah, I really love that editing tactic where they use they speed up the footage for like 2 seconds just to make sure everyone hasn't fallen asleep. Like really you don't trust them to like not pass out for like 2 seconds? Like why would anyone do that? Also, because it's a movie, the prom is literally the most amazing prom in the world. I mean, with no teachers, no adult supervision whatsoever. They've got kids doing drugs, flashing booze on the dance floor, and having sex in the car outside the parking lot outside. Like, well, come on, what kind of bizarre world do these people live in? Also, it's revealed that this girl is questioning her sexuality and has the hots for this other girl here. And I figured I should mention that just because the motivation of her dad is that he thinks that his daughter is lesbian, or he knows it. And he wants to stop her from doing the nasty with the Chad guy. Why did I write? I only have one problem with this, and he's never called out on it. I mean, he says early on in the movie, there are just things you know, as your dad or whatever. There are just some things you know. But at no point does he ever question that he's wrong. He complains that the other parents aren't letting their children experience life, yet he's guilty of the exact same thing. He ends up being right, but he never lets her decide for herself. Anyways, I'm off my high horse, let's get back to it. So everybody leaves prom just because it sucks or whatever, and the parents follow them out.
Scared and confused, and I know what it's like to be ostracized by society for your sexual preferences.
Sleeping with women that aren't your wife isn't a sexual preference.
No, it is. I prefer them.
Okay, that was kind of funny. You got one laugh out of me, movie. So the parents heard that everyone's going to Julie's boyfriend's house, and that's where they go.
Julie's red dress.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
It's not Julie.
Shit, it's Austin's parents.
They did a prom role play with the parents wearing the exact same thing that their son and their son's date were wearing. That's weird, right? It's not just me. So they didn't get the address, so they have to go to Kayla's mom. So that scene was just fucking pointless. Except for, well, I mean, the lulls, the hilarity, the hijinks. They had hijinks in this movie.
You're really going for it, aren't you?
I saw this in the romantic comedy American Beauty.
She thought that American Beauty was a romantic comedy? Okay. That's kind of weird. I know it's a joke, but like, the rest of the time this girl is portrayed as like this super like normal, like happy-go-lucky, friendly person, and she thinks that a movie about Kevin Spacey wanting to, you know the plot of the movie, right? She thinks that that's a romantic comedy? Okay. All right.
Wait, you lube it up with something first?
Yeah, I'll just spit up.
So they get to the kids' lake house where everyone else is, and this leads to the butt chugging scene. I mean, this was in all the ads, so it's got to be hilarious, right? 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 Yeah? Right?
It's not in yet.
Okay.
So it's just gonna be on the count of 3.
Got this, dog. This is for your kid.
On 3. Okay, 1.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name's Brent, and I fucking love blockers. Dude, glad that fucking idiot's out of here, dude. Let's just get back to watching, man. When the beer shot out of his butt, like, what? Beer doesn't come out of there, dude. It, like, went up in the guy's face, too. Like, fucking, what?
Christ! Dose a hazard.
Funny man fall. I've never seen a comedy like this, dude. I hope they do something whack while they're doing this car chase, like playing a classical song. Like, classical is calm, and this movie is zany, dude. Like, those two things, like, they don't mix. Like, it's like when, if you try to mix, like, fuck. And there's puke, dude. Now everybody's puking, dude. Dude, what the fuck are you doing here? This is my fucking show.
Dude,
Get off.
what the fuck? I don't understand what the problem is. You need to, like, seriously take a fucking chill
Fuck you, then.
pill or something.
Well, it's the last of the ass beer.
And just in time for a shit joke. Pun intended. So the parents go back to the kid's house, and they find out where everyone's going. So why? Why? We literally just fucking left. Why? Oh, right. So we can get a hilarious joke where somebody mistakenly grabs somebody else's balls. Alright, I'm getting fucking sick of this movie, so let's wrap this shit up. So the parents show up at the hotel where there's this after party, and the mother finds out, oh my god, my daughter's boyfriend actually does care for her. Oh, my dad actually loves me. They're playing sad guitar, so I need to get emotional. People are crying, but are there tears? No. No. What did you think? That they could pay for an eyedropper? No. There don't need to be tears in this scene. The emotion carries itself. And then everyone does the...
Okay, over.
And this girl tells everyone else that she's a lesbian and it's happily ever after, right?
Guys, I gotta tell you something. Okay.
We tend to fixate on that which we cannot explain. Though sometimes having all of the answers offers no reassurance, here are 10 videos where the explanation is just as terrifying as the mystery itself.
Really? Yeah. Wait, you are?
Yeah.
I love you. Forever.
So that's the plot out of the way, finally. So let's get into talking about some of the movie's other aspects. And I'm warning, this could get a little long. So if you're... Also, it's not going to be that funny. So if you're...
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
A lazy comedy.
So in terms of production value, I guess the movie's alright. I mean, the direction is pretty flat and boring and unmemorable. I mean, I've seen this movie close to 3 times now. I know, I have no life, right? And every single time I see the movie, I find stuff that I have absolutely no memory of. Now, either I have the memory of a goldfish, like The Cracker, or this movie's scenarios, production, and directing are just so boring that I just can't help but push it out of my mind. I'm leaning more towards the second one, in case you were curious. Okay, so this is going to be pretty long, so I might be glancing at my script right here. I know, right? I haven't memorized this entire thing. Just bear with me. I'm going to get into talking about some deep concepts, okay? We don't just do comedy here on the Samich Warrior channel. We talk about pressing issues brought up by blockers. As far as this message goes, I don't hate it. Greg, you spent the entire time shitting on the movie. What gives? Well, I mean, I hate the comedy and execution and the acting and the music and the direction, but I think the message is okay. I mean, it teaches parents that a teacher exploring their sexuality isn't a bad thing, and at some point they have to loosen their iron grip that they have on their kid. But I do have one qualm with the movie, and that's something that I'll get to in just a second. As I mentioned a million minutes ago, I really hate the parents of this movie. And before you say, Greg, that's the point, just let me explain. I understand that the whole point is to have a group of protective, over-the-top parents, but they're needlessly cruel and selfish throughout the entire thing. They're mean to each other, they're controlling of their children's lives, not just the sex pact thing, and they're just all around shitty people. John Cena is the only person that I don't hate, partially because he's, well, John Cena, and also partially because he's the only person that shows any sort of love or care for his kid. Before the, forced emotional scene, that is, towards the very end, where there's the guitar music and the piano, right? Yeah. You can actually tell that he cares for his kid. You can actually tell that he cares for his kid. Unlike this mom, who basically manipulates her child throughout the entire thing for her own selfish gain. This guy loves his kid, but he's annoying as fuck, so he doesn't count. Finally, I find it super strange how everyone, mainly the parents, act so cavalier about serious drug and alcohol use. I'm going to get off my soapbox real quick and just say something. The parents are unbelievably protective of their children, not wanting them to be damaged by sexual experiences. Yet I don't understand how the parents are just okay with their kids doing drugs and drinking alcohol. The difference between the two is that a sexual experience for those individuals are legal. What the kids were planning on doing is legal. But underage drinking and drug use is illegal. I'm not claiming any moral high ground. I'm just saying that I think it's weird from the standpoint of the characters in the movie. I mean, at one point, John Cena acts like freaked out that his daughter might be doing drugs, but at no other point does anyone else, confront their kids like, hey, why the hell have you been drinking, all night, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense from, the plot and the standpoint of the movie. It's like some weird cognitive dissonance or whatever. I don't know if that word actually works. I'm just going to use it. Anyway, so that's Blockers. Shitty, over-budget comedy that had no talent associated with it. Aside from John. I love that guy. It's completely unmemorable and will fade into the void to sit next to overly scratched copies of the Pitch Perfect movies. Or that's how it would have gone if it hadn't made a butt ton of money. So we're probably going to see a sequel. Cock Blockers 2. Rooster Obstruction. Chicken Hindrance. Poultry Interference. Pullet Hampering. Cockerel Gridlock. Foul Barricade.